Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up.
The battle between Jada and EJ. Jada claims that Belle is being set up when she tries to defend EJ to her on today's episode of Days of Our Lives. Why are you standing up for EJ, Belle? Jada simply wants to know where EJ is. She doesn't want to dispute. Playing dumb, Belle acts as though she just arrived to visit Johnny. Jada notices the secret door open as she is leaving. Belle protests that it's probably just construction workers, but she nevertheless bursts in. EJ tells Rafe about the wedding fiasco down in the somewhat secluded chamber, telling his hostage that he ultimately did Jada a favor. However, Rafe is certain that Jada will see through it all. He maintains that EJ will be caught soon, but EJ simply gags him once again and goes into the tunnels, where he collides with Jada. She responds, "You know why," when he insists on knowing why she is there. "I am fully aware of your intentions." She only knows that EJ framed her as a corrupt police officer. Jada hears something as Rafe tries to yell in the room while wearing a gag. What was that sound? When it happens again, EJ plays dumb and claims that workers are cleaning up the room after Connie's blast. Days EJ, wearing a robe, frowns down at Jada, who is standing with her arms crossed in the DiMera tunnels. After that, he criticizes Jada enough that she follows him upstairs, where he fabricates a story about how he is dubious of her great record that sets her apart from the other Keystone cops. Belle chastises him for kicking her while she's down, and he then pushes her out the door. Belle informs EJ that Jada is unaware of the two of them once she leaves. Very good. EJ simply looks at Belle when she asks him directly if he made up the evidence against Jada. He then plays innocent by telling her that Rafe was the one who uncovered the proof. All right. All I can hope is that you're being honest with me. After they kiss and express their gratitude for spending the night together, she ends his flirtation and leaves for work. He laments, "This is all getting too close for comfort." When she leaves, Brady and Steve come together. As he did in Friday's episode, Steve is off at the hospital when Tripp informs him that Ava is not in Hong Kong. Tripp responds that he hasn't even spoken to his mother when Brady begs to speak with him. Steve insists on getting the phone back in order to reassure Ava that everything is okay and that he will investigate. Brady is certain that something is seriously off. Days Steve is standing in the hospital reception area holding his phone when Brady extends his hands to him. When Brady hands over his phone to display the text from Ava, Steve tells him that Hong Kong was really a front and that Ava might have been attempting to save his feelings. Alright, so where did she go? This is all illogical. After considering several possibilities, Steve concludes that the text was sent by someone else. There are a lot of terrible people like Clyde Weston and the mob. Steve makes Brady play the jumbled voicemail as they relive the last time Ava and Brady spoke. If she hadn't indicated that she was heading to Hong Kong, where had she disappeared to? Steve says he will try to improve the voicemail audio and work with her previous contacts. He believes she is in serious danger. Kristen gets back together with her mother. In Armid, the woman in white walks in just as Kristen is ready to unhook Ava. "Mom, it isn't possible." "Yes, it is. She is alive and her name is Rachel Blake." The two give one another a happy embrace. Incredulous, Kristen asks her mother about her scars. "Repaired. Long ago." "Why have you come here, my sweetheart?" Kristen claims that after coming in search of Ava, she discovered that her mother had been present the entire time and had assisted little Rachel with Ava. Days in the background, Ava observes Kristen and Rachel Blake catching up at the Blake residence while gagged and restrained. Before Rachel gags her once more, Kristen explains how she worked everything out as Ava offers feedback. "Mom." They play catch-up instead, though, because Kristen isn't too unhappy. Rachel tells her that she spent years in a French sanitarium and then more years attempting to piece together who she was, but she doesn't know how she survived. Since then, she has been hiding in Armid without knowing Stefano had passed away. Rachel responds to Kristen's question about why she never contacted her or Peter by saying that she was worried she would cause difficulties. Seeing her alive makes Kristen very happy. When young Rachel arrived, Rachel knew it was time to come out as herself and do whatever it takes to help my family. She only wanted to make up for all the years she lost with Kristen by bringing Ava out and helping young Rachel have a happy family. Kristen says that's great, but I can't be party to what you're doing to Ava. Rachel advises her that nothing is more important than standing up for love and family when she begs her mother to let her rival go. Indeed, Kristen does recall teaching that. That part took for sure. However, Rachel continues to insist that she deserves the family that Stefano denied her. Since Kristen is unsure, Rachel points out that the authorities might take her away permanently if her parents discover her granddaughter was complicit in an abduction scheme. For the time being, she will simply keep Ava here until they can come up with a more long-term solution. Mother, what does that mean? Kristen warns her mother against harming Ava. They were pals once. She also retains some empathy. Rachel informs Kristen that she must take this action to keep little Rachel safe because Stefano gave her the Demera spine. Kristen pauses, then looks at Ava. I apologize, Ava. She is correct. I must keep Rachel safe. Ava appears appalled. Paulina requests allegiance. Paulina thanks Sean for interviewing Jada back at the police station. She is depending on him to make the changeover easier. Return to Rafe. Sean doesn't think Jada is dishonest and labels it a slap in the face. In the interim, they must reassure the public that everything is okay. Paulina hopes her name is cleared because if it is, the job will be hers. This is not the time to assign a novice to the position. In the police station, dazed Paulina gestures toward Sean. It's her choice whether she likes it or not. So, join the team or else. Yes, ma'am. However, Shaw would rather tell Jada than Paulina. Sean arrives to Jada's door with coffee in the last moments of the show and apologizes for questioning her. She is simply appreciative that he did it. Then he announces that Rafe is regaining control. It keeps getting worse and worse. None of it makes sense to her. Rafe seems like a whole different person. And lastly, Sean had a thought in the last moments of the show. However, it's the incorrect one. He questions whether Rafe's coma played a role in this. It might be worth a look. Perhaps, but Jada fears it is unrelated to the coma. Simply put, Rafe doesn't love her as much as she believed. Sean extends his hand to take hers. Rafe, ungagged, watches anxiously as EJ, wearing his robe, taps a needle in the Demera hidden room. Shortly before Kristen returns home, Brady brings Rachel back to the Demera residence. He reports that Rachel is doing well and that therapy went smoothly. He's unsure about Ava, though. He is certain that something is very wrong, even though she is not in Hong Kong.